welcome back to Fix It With Beer. We've got an exciting little project today. We got the 2013 F-150 King Ranch. It's got squeaking rear brakes. We're gonna go ahead and do the shortcut brake pad replacement. We're not doing rotors. We're not doing any of that. We're just gonna go and pull the caliper off and slap some new pads on there, put it back together, see if we can get rid of this squeak. This is Grandpa's truck. He's gonna be assisting today, probably be the cameraman because I'm a cameraman short. Perfect project, Fix It With Beer, Lone Star. Don't tell my dad I'm cracking a beer at 10:30 in the morning. Let's get started. All right, friends, first things first. We got the jack here ready to go. We're gonna go, hey, safety third today. Let's go ahead and we'll put some chocks in front of these front wheels. You know, we might as well be safe because otherwise someone will say something. Wheels chalked. All right, first things first, let's get this thing jacked up and we'll get some jack stands underneath it because the last thing you want on a Saturday morning is a truck falling on top of you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get these lug nuts off. This has got a wheel lock on. Kind of already did this one here, so you guys didn't have to go through that thing. So we'll get the safety off. All right. There we go. Friends, here's what we got to do. We got to get this caliper right here off. Again, I'm trying to be the own cameraman today, so it's tough. So we got to get this guy off right here. There's two 13 millimeter bolts. 13 millimeter bolt here on top, and 13 millimeter bolt there on the bottom. This is the part where I remember I got to put some gloves on to keep my hands from getting dirty. The first thing we're going to do though is we're going to just jam a screwdriver in here and get it on the rotor and just try to push that thing just a little bit to relieve the pressure. Now we should be able to pull that caliper off real easy. All right, friends, we're going to hit this 13 millimeter here. Okay, there we go, it broke loose. Job gets significantly more difficult if you break the bolt. There we go. Okay, we got them finger tight now, guys. Let's see if we can get this thing rolled out of here. Our bolt's here. Okay, let's see if this thing pops right off like it's supposed to. Well, there we go. Caliper off and in good shape. And we're going to set it up here because we don't want to just hang it by the brake line. So it's just going to sit right up there on the leaf spring. Now we got our pads here. Let's see if these will just pop right out. Well, we'll get a good comparison of these next to the new ones, but I think we're going to see this one is pretty thin. All right, friends, here's your difference. You got 100,000 miles worth of braking here on the left, and on the right, you got the brand new, and you can see they're pretty worn out. We're gonna come in here, and we're gonna grab those clips off there, the clips on the bottom there. The kit comes with the clips, and then the clips right there at the top, and we'll swap those out. We'll grease these little guys right here. They feel pretty good. They're moving, so we'll just get some grease on those. If we're gonna go ahead and change the rotor too, we'd go ahead and hit the 19 millimeter on this guy right back here, and I think it's 19 and 19 there. Pop that thing off, and then this rotor would just pop off. We'd slap a new rotor on, but I think this rotor is gonna be okay for what we're trying to do here. And we'll just throw these new pads on and see if it solves it. We're not gonna turn them. I told you this is the value way to do this. We could go take them to the auto parts store and they'd probably turn them, but then they'd probably say they were too thin to turn and make you get new ones. But this is the quick and easy way to do it, down and dirty. All right, let's get these old clips out of here. And I think we should be able to just kind of pry them out like this. There we go. And this is all pretty clean in here. We'll just kind of wipe this off and wipe this off before we put our new clips in. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to show you. But that clip, little end tab that kind of guides you into place, kind of the fins facing down. I'm trying to get it snapped into place and fight me just a little bit here. Oh, there it is. You got to kind of, there's a tab on the top. You got to kind of push down. You got to push down and then push up is what has to happen. It's this little tab right here on the top, on this side, that you got to kind of get pulled up before you can snap that in spot. I wish it popped in like the other one did. Let's try the bottom and see if that goes better. See, it's frustrating because the one side is popping in and the other side is not. Guy in the video I watched last night struggled with this a little bit too. Okay, friends, so we've been struggling. We're able to get this top clip on with the caliper in place, the caliper bracket in place, but I cannot get this bottom clip to go. I can't get it tilted back far enough to go. So we're gonna go ahead and take the caliper bracket off. It's an 18 millimeter. I pre-loosened it. We're just kind of going through the motions here, just so you can see how this comes off. There's two 18 millimeter bolts back here. We'll leave that one in to catch it when we get this top one. Try not to wreck our caliper there. So we're gonna pull this off and then we're gonna get this clip in. I just kept fighting it, but it would not go. It would not snap on there. Okay, so what you gotta do on this clip is you gotta come in at an angle from the back. You gotta tilt it back, and with that rotor in the way, I couldn't get it tilted back far enough. I couldn't get it to snap. I could get one side to snap, but not the other. So we're just gonna go like this. Of course, trying to show you guys this on camera is the hard part. But if you tilt it all the way back and then push it forward, two hands with your thumbs, it will snap right into place. I promise, I did it just a minute ago. There we go. Okay. Well, you know what? While we got this thing out, we're gonna go ahead and check these. No, we got good grease in here. We'll throw a little more in there. All right, guys, we're gonna take just a little bit of this grease here. Comes with the pads, and it doesn't take a lot. Like I said, this has got grease in it. It's good grease. We're in Texas. No salt to speak of, and we're just gonna build on what we got. Okay. So now, let's go ahead and get this bracket put back in here. I'm sure when we go to put this back in here, you are going to want to know the exact torque spec for this thing. So it's 150 pounds, which is just like all the muscles, more than this thing will do. But we'll put on that breaker bar and we'll juice it up here and get it on as tight as we can get it. We're gonna call that pretty dang good. All right, guys, now we're gonna take and slide these new brake pads in. But before we do that, since we ended up handling this a lot more than we wanted to, we're gonna clean these, clean this rotor off and clean these pads off real quick. I don't know, this may be overkill, guys, but I sprayed a little WD-40 on there trying to get that clip on there, and it didn't go, so. I just got my grimy hands all over them, so I cleaned them off. Tried to forget just to put a little bit of grease in this track here for our brake pads. So I'm just gonna jam a little bit up right there. We'll jam a little bit over here. And when we put those pads in, we'll just make sure that we kind of spread it out a little bit. Don't get too crazy with it, guys, just a little bit. So these pads are just going to kind of wedge here inside. You kind of just bump that clip up out of the way. Just got to kind of wiggle it in there. We'll do the same thing on the back side. I'm trying to get this top one in first. There we go. I think we got it all the way. Yep. Okay. Now, remember, our pads were so much thinner before, so our caliper is going to be sitting here going, no way I'm fitting on over the top of that dude, so we're going to have to compress it. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to take our old brake pads so we have a nice smooth spot here. They make tools to do this too, like a caliper brake caliper compressor thing or something, but for what we've got here today, we've got a C-channel and the old brake pad on top. And we just want to avoid the brake line there, obviously. And you just want to really gently and slowly press down on your piston right here. Slowly and gently. And that's just going to compress it down so it'll fit over our thick and new brake pads. I think that'll get us where we need to be. Let's see, did we get enough? Oh yeah, we got enough. All right, then we go back to our 13 millimeter bolts from our very beginning. Get this caliper back on here. And you should check out the torque specs on this, but I think it's pretty light. Like not crazy, surprisingly. I'm not gonna tell you what to torque this thing down to. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna torque it down to, 22 foot-pounds. Beep, perfect. Now we're gonna put the wheel back on and we're gonna call this thing done. It's the emergency brake that you hear when that's going on like that, but I think we'll just do the double check. We got the caliper bracket back in, expertly torqued. We got the caliper back in, torqued. We got the pads in. We got a little bit of grease on them. We cleaned the rotor off. We got a little junk hole on there. But I think we're ready to put this tire back on, put the wheel back on, and then we're going to call it good. We got this locking one on here. Get the lock squared away. A little cap. Okay, friends, we got this one just about buttoned up. We're gonna go the other side. We're gonna put the camera away. We'll let you know if anything interesting comes out. Hey, 2 beer project to do both sides. Got the Lone Star going, and we're gonna get the other side wrapped up, but you got to kind of stick with it. I think the key to it is with the clips that came with the pads that we got, we had to take that caliper bracket off to get them snapped on. And it's just because you can't get the angle when it's in place. We got them in there. We got the wheel back buttoned up. Like I said, we're going to do the other side. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.